Hello, it's Sunday and welcome to your Big Magazine, your weekly digest from Big News. I'm Lee Bannister and over the next hour we'll be taking a nice relaxed look around Birmingham, Solihull, the Black Country and beyond. Hey, it's Sunday, why not? Yes, welcome to your Sunday edition of the Big Magazine. Now in a few moments we'll take a look back with Lois over the week in Big News to see some of the things that have been happening in our area this week. A little later on, Des and Gary will be with us to look at what's on for Sunday. Carl will take time out from the big picture to let us know what's happening in the world of film. I'll be sitting down with Natalie to see what's up on this week's community notice board. This week's Charity Focus will find out more about a local charity, and of course if you know of a deserving cause that we could cover, stay tuned because we'll have our contact details for you later on in the show. Tom Wilkinson from Doorstep History will drop in to give us another history lesson in what happened in the coming week over the years, and then I'll be jumping back into the good old Big Centre Postback to see what you've been talking about. So that's all to come within the pages of Sunday's Big Magazine. So then, first up, it's over to Big Centre's newsroom for a look back at what's been going on in our region this week. Here's Lois.
Thanks, Lee. Well, New York, Paris, London and now Solihull last week saw the launch of the first ever Solihull Fashion Week. And it's not just well-known high street brands which are on the catwalk. It seems that Solihull's independent shops are also now making it onto the runway. I wanted to find out more, so I spoke to one of the organisers, Melanie Palmer.
Solihull is the place to be, to come and shop. We wanted to make sure that whilst London Fashion Week exhibits all of the wild and wonderful things from our fabulous designers, we wanted people to see the real Fashion Week in Solihull, fashions that people can actually wear. All of the fashions at our Fashion Week catwalk show can be found in all of the stores in Solihull.
And is there a market for this here in Solihull?
Absolutely, we've been inundated with requests not only for tickets to attend the fashion show, but also for our retailers and all our brands wanting to take part, and it's a fabulous showcase for our independent businesses in particular.
Yeah, how important is it for them to have a stage like this to exhibit their work?
I think it is really critical that we do look at these aspects of advertising for the independents, because they don't have the budgets of the big brands and the big brands that are out there on the high street. So what we can do to support them is really, really valuable to them.
And on hand to launch the event, one of Strictly Come Dancing's sparkly favourites. We've got London, Paris, New York, now the Fashion Weeks here in Solihull. I mean, it's great for the town, isn't it?
It's superb. Anything that's sort of glamorous like this is always lovely. It becomes a big event and everybody gets a bit dolled up and everyone, you know, and that always makes for a nice event. When people dress up, they make an effort. When people make an effort, it just adds to the glamour and the sort of prestige of the event. That's what we like really over here in Solihull.
And you're here hosting it. How does that feel?
I'm very excited because I love a do like this. I love a posh frock do. I'm all about the frocks, so I'm very excited about this. It's been lovely to be invited along to do it, and yeah, it's going to be a good night. I can't wait to see the fashion coming through.
And how does it feel to be back in Solihull? Because I know you were here 2 years ago with the golfing, the Pro-Am golf. How does it feel to be back here?
Well, I like Solihull and the surrounding area, Birmingham and Sutton Coldfield and all the places. I'm here quite a lot, certainly when I'm on tour doing my show, which I do at the beginning of the year. So we have you've got the wonderful Symphony Hall in Birmingham, which we perform at, which is one of our favourite venues in the whole country. It's just a brilliant venue, and all the people from the Midlands are just a great bunch, you know, great, warm, supportive bunch, and that's why tonight's going to be a great night, you see, because and this weekend, that's what they do, they get involved, and that's lovely.
And I know you're one for a sparkly outfit. Will you have your eye on anything tonight?
Oh, I shall tell you, if there's something a bit sparkly, I wouldn't trust them to put it down too closely to me and walk away. That's all I'm going to say.
Now, Roger Hirons is a community artist and he's working with the Icon Gallery in Birmingham to produce a very unusual work of art. He's seeking funding for a unique temporary installation on the Icknield Port Loop in Ladywood. His hope is to bury an aeroplane and then open it up as a tourist attraction. The idea is that people will ultimately be able to go inside the plane, but all the time they'll be underground. While the young team from Ladywood's TNT News, the producers of Big Centres in Our House programme, have been along to investigate.
I'm here at the Icknield Port Loop. Surprisingly, this is where the aeroplane is going to be buried. All of this area used to be full of old factories like this. After the plane has been dug up, these are what the houses are going to look like. With me today is Debbie from the Icon. So Debbie, what's going to be built?
Well, Heidi, what we want to do is take this old derelict scrapland and to make a very big public artwork which will be on display free of charge to the people of Ladywood.
How do you think this is going to benefit Ladywood?
Well, the project is by a Birmingham artist, Roger Hirons, and it's going to be a very large-scale artwork. It involves burying an aeroplane, a Boeing 747, underneath the ground, and people will be able to access it and go down underneath the ground and see a transformed space. So it's a very exciting, a very different kind of project. We think it will benefit the people of Ladywood because it's about the history of Ladywood in part, because it offers opportunity for people to come and see it on their doorstep. We think it's really important to have art on people's doorsteps, and rather than needing to go into the city centre, it's right where they live. We think it will bring people from all over the country because it's going to be such a landmark, such an ambitious new artwork that lots of people will travel here on cars and trains and boats on your canal network to come and see the project. So it will promote Ladywood, and in a couple of years' time this part of Ladywood will change because developers are going to be moving in and building houses and playgrounds and a whole range of different activities and things for the public, and so this will showcase the potential of Ladywood and its people.
What would it be like inside the aeroplane, as it would be very dark underground?
That's a really good question. It will be light because we're going to preserve the inside of the aeroplane like an original aeroplane. So when you walk down the stairs or you go down the ramp, because we want everybody to access it, to be able to access it, you will see a fully functioning airplane. You might see soil and little worms at the windows, but you will understand that you're underneath the ground. And that might have a strange feeling because this artist, Roger Hirons, is interested in transforming spaces. So burying something that we think of in the air and taking it underground changes our feelings and attitudes towards things. I think it would be a great space to do workshops on, to have meetings on, to do all sorts of things in, and I think it would be really interesting. It'd make us think differently about the world.
Will you be able to see the top of the aeroplane, or will it be completely hidden underground?
Another very good question. It's going to be hidden underground, so when you arrive on the site you won't see any evidence of an aeroplane, except you'll probably see people waiting on the surface, on the ground, ready to walk into it. So you walk deep underground and then you come back up through a ramp, and that makes it even more exciting and mysterious.
How much would this project cost? Because some people might think it could be spent on other things.
Well, we're working at Icon to find lots of different ways to pay for this project, and some of it will come from public funding, but from the arts funding and from culture and regeneration. It would never be taken from hospital money or health or anything else, so this is a different kind of money.
Is this going to be an idea that takes off? Or is it just plain crazy? Let us know what you think.
Now, the area of Tetnall is on the outskirts of Wolverhampton with a population of 5,222. And if the good folk of Tetnall have their way, they will soon split from Wolverhampton Council and go it alone as a parish council. Two councillors for Tetnall have already backed the plan, with one even referring to Wolverhampton as a deadbeat council. But it'll still take a year of consultations before anything begins to change. But the ball is rolling. I went to Tetnall to find out more.
we want to make sure that local people's views are heard in the area. I mean, we're part of the city of Wolverhampton. That's much bigger than us, and so it's difficult sometimes for people in the centre to consider issues which are very local just to us, like maintenance of local areas and precise matters like that. And we're setting against this a background where we're being put into the larger Greater Birmingham conurbation, and we feel that the influence of local people is going to be more difficult to get hold of, and we want to grasp the opportunity, which we have, to ask for a review so that we can have a local council elected. At the moment we're a voluntary district council and it will have no permanence, so it's to give it some permanence for that.
What will the council consist of? What's the plan?
Well, that's to be determined, because the review that's done by the City Council determines how many wards and things like that. I'm assuming it will cover the 2 wards that we cover now, Tettenhall Regis and Tettenhall Whitwick. And that's about 20,000 people. It's quite a lot bigger than many councils, but Sutton Coldfield has just gone for a town council of the same sort of nature with a much bigger size. So that's what it will be covering, and we don't know the number of councillors as yet, but they'll be elected in the normal way like any other town council, and then that gives you permanence.
And so how will the locals in Tettenhall benefit from this?
By, I think, keeping a better eye and a closer control about what happens locally, having more say, having more influence. Not always power, sadly. We won't have power over planning issues, which are very active here, but we will have an opportunity of more influence, we think.
Tettenhall is a really nice place. The move away from Wolverhampton, do Tettenhall maybe think they might be better than Wolverhampton in any way?
I don't think he thinks it's very better than Wolverhampton, but it's a very nice place and we'd like to keep it nice. Really, that's what people are saying. Again and again, when we were preparing our local neighbourhood plan, people said, what do you want to happen for Tettenhall? And people say, well, we like it here, we like to keep it the same. Nobody wants to keep it frozen, but it has to be preserved as much as we can.
Now, as we were seeing last week, Her Majesty the Queen was celebrating her 90th birthday, but this week it's her turn to be sending out birthday wishes to others. One person in particular is May. She turned 100 years young last weekend, and of course she was pleased to receive her telegram from the Queen. So it was celebrations all around when she arrived at a lunch club at South Aston United Reformed Church.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear May. Happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday.
Thank you very much.
And what have you been doing to celebrate?
Oh, what have I been until? What have been? Oh, all sorts of things. Things I can't even remember. Can't even remember. This is my day yesterday. And it was a good day yesterday. Beautiful.
And everyone here out to celebrate your birthday?
Yes, I know. I was absolutely flabbergasted when I came in seeing all this. Never knew a thing about it. They had beautiful people.
And you've had a letter from the Queen, haven't you?
Oh yes. I think my daughter-in-law's bought that to show everyone.
How did that feel when you got that in the post?
Oh, lovely. Yes, very nice. Yes, beautiful.
And how long have you been coming here to the community cafe?
About 2 years.
And what do you enjoy about coming here?
The company. But I can't see too good. And they're lovely people. Very nice. Very helpful.
And finally, how does it feel to have reached 100? I mean, you've come through a lot in your lifetime, haven't you?
Yes. I've worked hard all my life. It's absolutely wonderful. But I don't feel 100. I don't even know how I feel. Sometimes I feel about 21, 22. Another day you do feel old.
The lunch clubs at the South Aston United Reformed Church have been running for over 25 years, and it's gatherings like these that Reverend Peter Little believes are a benefit to the local elderly community.
I think we tick all the boxes. It stops people being isolated, they meet new friends. We've had members of this lunch club who've come in for years. And certainly from my point of view as minister of this church, I think one of the things I'm very keen on is they come here on Wednesdays, as you can hear, they do bingo, raffles, lunch, meet friends with exercises. But they also have an opportunity to take part in a short church service, which we do every Wednesday for 20 minutes or so. If I can't do it, one of my elders or another person does it. And I think that's just a great opportunity, because for a lot of them, it's probably the only chance they get to go to a church service. So.
And what else is there going on? Is it just the lunch club or are there other clubs?
No, we have all kind of things. We like to think of ourselves as a community church. We have an out-about club on Monday. We have this on Wednesday. We have every other Friday. David Kendrick, who is responsible for the elderly here, goes on shopping with them, an out-about club. We have just started, about a year ago, we've started a cafe here, which operates on Tuesdays. So yeah, there's lots of different things going on.
And thanks to Lois and the rest of the Big News team. Still to come after the break, Des and Gary will be finding out what's on for Sunday, and Carl will be here from The Big Picture with a look at the film news. I'll see you in a few minutes. Welcome back. It's The Big Magazine with you for a Sunday here on Big Centre. Still to come, Carl will be here with the film news. Natalie will join me for a look at the community notice board. We'll see who's featured in this week's Charity Focus. And Tom Wilkinson will be looking ahead to next week in history. Oh, and I'll be delving into the postbag as well. That's all later on in the show. But first, let's find out what's on for today, Sunday, and with the font of all knowledge, well, about what's on anyway, it's Des and Gary.
It's the Great Birmingham 10K run today, so if you're taking part, good luck.
Yeah, we're not.
No, but even though I'm here, I'm going to be there.
Oh, yeah.
With a camera.
Oh, good man.
Because it comes under sport as well, so I'll be in a bit there.
Oh, right.
Fingers crossed.
But you're not going to be running alongside the runners, so I'm getting interviews.
No.
Oh,
no.
And over in Sutton Park, the Boldmere Festival is a celebration of music, art, drama and dance in one of the UK's largest urban parks. It's fabulous, Sutton Park. As absolutely beautiful place. It aims to support the local Boldmere community with high quality content from local performers and businesses. Actually, I went last year and there were some amazing acts on. Yeah, absolutely fabulous. It's a family-friendly festival whose aim is to cultivate emerging talent and raise the profile of Boldmere as part of the city of Birmingham. Some great restaurants.
Hope the weather's good for all that.
Yeah.
And for the 10, well, not too hot for the 10K run, but generally dry and a little bit of sunshine.
Yeah.
Right there, a great comedy event on tonight at the Glee Club when Stand Up for the Heroes returns with a phenomenal lineup of comedians and live music. Already confirmed to perform are the inimitable Tony Law, the brilliant Bethany Black, hugely popular. Is it Jared Christmas?
I think it's Jared.
Jared Christmas or Jared. Either or, Mr. Christmas.
Yeah.
Eleanor Conway, Rich Wilson, James Alderson, and more still to be announced.
Yeah. Good cause.
Yep.
And gigs tonight, Michael Bolton's rescheduled gig with Gabrielle is on at the Symphony Hall again. The Wharf Bar in Walsall, just down the road, has Soul Therapy, which is a great night. At the Rainbow, Punks Alive presents a riotous assembly with headline act Vomit, plus loads of others, and you get a free shot on arrival.
And lots of diced carrots to go with the vomit.
Local guys Goodnight Lenin are in the Sunflower Lounge, and Swingamajig at the Rainbow is the best vintage-inspired party you can imagine. Music, dance, cabaret, walkabout, art installations, street food, performance, and over 4,000 of the UK's best-dressed ladies and gents. Set in Digbeth in the shadow of the giant brickwork railway arches and a big top circus tent, its 6 stages bring together some of the best acts from all over the world. It's headlined by international festival heavyweights Balkan Beatbox, who blend Balkan brass with earth-shattering bass, hip-hop and dub electronics, and there's many more bands. So let's have a look at what you can expect and say goodbye.
Bye-bye. See you next time. Bye-bye.
We should be swinging together, you and me, all night, holding hands and moving our feet. We should be swinging together, you and me. Come on, baby. We should be swinging together, you and me, all night, holding hands and moving our feet. We should be swinging together, you and me. Let yourself go and get on down to the beat. All night, all day. Come on, baby, turn up that heat. go. So let's go. Wrap your arms around me and hold me tight now. Don't let me go. So in for a right now. I wanna dance with you. Feel the rhythm now.
And of course, Des and Gary will be back here on Big Centre with a look at what's on for the rest of the coming week tonight at 7:30, as well as during Big News in the week.
Hello, my name is Reverend Jim, and I'm the minister at St Matthew's Church in Walsall. This spring and summer, there will be parties and events throughout this country and the Commonwealth as we celebrate Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II's 90th birthday. Last year we celebrated her achievement of becoming the longest reigning British monarch. However, it spoke volumes about our Queen that she chose not to mark the event as special, but to carry on with her normal day-to-day activities. In the Christian Bible, Paul writes to his friends in Philippi and tells them to have the same attitudes to other people as Jesus Christ had. It is written in a passage which talks about how we relate to other people and society around us. He talks about having a humble attitude. One aspect of the Queen's character that I admire so much is her humility. But what does being humble actually mean? The writer C.S. Lewis put it like this: true humility is not thinking less of yourself, it is thinking of yourself less. It's very easy to be proud, but that isn't being humble. But it's also very easy to have a low opinion of ourselves, and that isn't being humble either. Being humble does not mean being spineless, feeble, lifeless, or dreary, and so on. Rather, it is about generosity of spirit, generosity of money, time and effort, and so on. Something we see so much of in our reigning monarch, a great example to us all. There's a children's joke that goes like this: what is the first thing a king or a queen does when they come to the throne? They sit down. But actually that was not true for our Queen. If you look at the coronation service, you see something different. The text of the coronation service makes it clear what actually happened. Whilst a song was being sung, the Queen processed through the church up towards the throne. But then she passed her throne and knelt at a prayer stool on the south side of the altar and said some short private prayers. Only after that did she sit down in her throne. And it's clear that whilst the Queen may be our head of state, she is also a woman of great faith who recognises her own personal calling. The title of a recent book about Her Majesty reflects that, and it's called The Servant Queen and the King She Serves. Unusually, the Queen has written the foreword inside the front of the book, and in it she says, "As I enter my 91st year, I remain eternally grateful to God for his steadfast love. I have seen his faithfulness to me as I have sought to serve." It's appropriate that we should celebrate the life and work of our Queen on this special birthday, and that we should give thanks for her life of humility and service. But we should not forget it's also a life all followers of Jesus are called to lead. Indeed, it's a life we would all do well to emulate.
Now, do you like a good film? Well, let's see what's on offer. From the big picture, here's Carl with the best seat in the house.
Hello, well it's time now to take our weekly look at what's big in the world of cinema and our local box office. And there's no doubt about what the biggest talking point is right now. Marvel brings its legendary Avengers back into action once again, this time for Captain America Civil War. So what's causing all the chaos this time? Well, the government wants to introduce legislation to control these superheroes, and while the likes of Iron Man reluctantly agree, Captain America is having none of it. So while Scarlett Johansson's Black Widow and Tom Holland's Spider-Man side with Iron Man and his crew, Captain America sets about building a rival band of warriors, including some interesting new recruits.
How about our other recruit?
He's raring to go. Had to put a little coffee in him, but he should be good. What time zone is this?
Come on. Come on.
Captain America.
Mr. Lang?
It's an honor. I'm shaking your hand too long. Wow, this is awesome.
Captain America. I know you too. You're great. jeez. Look, I want to say, I know you know a lot of super people, so thanks for thanking of me. Hey, man.
What's up, Tic Tac?
Good to see you. Look, what happened last time?
It was a
when
great audition, but it'll never happen again.
They tell you what we're up against?
Something about some psycho assassins?
We're outside the law on this one. So if you come with us, you're a wanted man.
Yeah, well, what else is new?
So with two bands of superheroes going head-to-head, it's cue for lots of carnage, frantically edited fight scenes and dizzying displays of visual effects. At times, it's tricky to keep track of actually who's winning and who's where, as you can see from all of this flying around.
Body armor, AR-15s.
I make 7 hostiles.
I make 5.
Sam?
4. Rumlow's on the 3rd floor. Wanda, just like we practiced.
What about the gas?
Get it out.
It's not a bad film, this, by any means, and it sets up an interesting return for Spider-Man coming to a screen near us quite soon. But like too many of these films, I think it comes in at a bloated nearly 2.5 hours and could easily, for my money, have been chopped. Captain America Civil War now showing everywhere. You'll probably be able to hear it, it's that noisy. Time to look now at another one of this week's new releases. This is a romantic drama with a rich seam of comedy as Jake Gyllenhaal takes the lead in a film called Demolition. A recently widowed man falls in love with a customer services official at a vending machine company. That's the concept of this one, and it's a quirky movie which challenges us to laugh at regular intervals, but when actually, because of the subject matter, we're not quite sure whether it's actually okay to do so. Having said that, Jake Gyllenhaal's excellent once again, and you can't fault the movies he's been making quite recently.
Thanks, Carl. OK, we're going to take a short break now, but when we come back, Natalie will join me for the community notice board. Then we'll see who's the subject of this week's charity focus. And as ever, I'll be delving into the big centre postbag too. I'll see you in a few minutes. Welcome back to Sunday's Big Magazine. Still to come, we'll see who is the subject of this week's charity focus. Tom Wilkinson will have a look forward to this week in the past, and I'll be seeing what's in the postbag this week.
Now, it's time to have a look at what is happening in your community as we take a look at the community notice board.
Here it is, yes. If you have some news you'd like to feature, then give us plenty of notice and you could be telling people all across the area what's going on.
I've got some news.
Have you got some news?
Had my hair cut today.
I did notice.
Oh, come off it.
It looks very nice.
Now, if you want to get in touch, we'll tell you how in a few minutes' time.
Oh dear, I think I'm in trouble now. Anyway, last year's Shakespeare theme is continuing into this week. Early music duo The Night Watch believe there is one aspect of Shakespeare's plays people are missing. The music. That's why, in their new show, From Bard to Verse, the original music of Shakespeare's plays, they have researched and recovered Shakespearean songs and musics and will play it on copies of Tudor instruments.
Hopefully it won't go from bad to worse. Just think what I did there.
You're very funny.
The duo perform with recorders, lutes, crumhorn, bray harp, classic,
yep,
rebec, kitten, pipe and tabor, to name but a few of instruments that I've never heard of.
Do they play the ocarina?
That, you mean like Macarena?
The ocarina is like a little clay thing.
Oh, right. Anyway, they are performing at the Netherton Arts Centre if you want to go and find out what it is they are playing with. That's on the Northfield Road on May the 6th at 7:30 p.m. So for more information, you can go to www.the-night-watch.org.uk or you can call them 01527 880030.
I bet it sounds quite nice, actually, you know, something out of the ordinary.
Must be a skill.
Yeah, I bet. Anyway, over the past few months, the MCA project has been running. Now, MCA is the Mental Capacity Act, which works as part of the National Mental Capacity Forum. The MCA project has been run by Birmingham South Central NHS Clinical Commissioning Group to recognise the shining MCA stars of Birmingham and Sandwell, and awards have been given to a number of hard-working members, including the following.
Dr. Yasmin Ahmed. She has been instrumental in putting together an MCA resource for clinical practice. Despite being a busy GP herself, Yasmin has also made time to appear on the Noor TV's Health Matters to raise the profile of capacity issues for the city's Islamic communities. Go, Yasmin.
Oh, yes. Also, Lynn Gannon has managed a number of changes around choices and less restrictive care at Ascot Villa.
Mandy Egan and Tracy Hart lead a team at the National Centre for Deaf Mental Health. Their passion for great communication is a natural fit with the MCA principles.
Olivier Jamin is dedicated to improving the well-being of deaf people, and with his help, Deaf Plus have co-produced a signed and subtitled video which shows how the Mental Capacity Act affects citizens.
Sharon Gray at Birmingham Jewish Community Care has worked tirelessly to raise awareness of the Mental Capacity Act at Andrew Cohen Nursing Home.
Rashpal Pahal heads up the Dolls team at Sandwell Borough Council, but still made the time to co-produce a resource to help family carers confused by DOLs.
Lorraine Longstaff, safeguarding matron at the Heart of England Foundation Trust, takes every opportunity to encourage compassion in care, seeing the MCA as a vital part of this.
So well done to all of them.
Well done, everybody.
Yeah. Now, on Saturday the 23rd of April, Perry Bar Arts Forum with artist R.M. Sanchez Camus launched a display of Designs in the Sky, a series of community street banners at Aston Lane Tesco.
This sounds interesting. Now, Designs in the Sky is a community arts project culminating in the presentation of a new kind of street art, a series of community street banners representing the local area, designed in collaboration with local people. Last week's launch event was accompanied by song and dance from local groups and artists.
Now, the proposal was to create banners that represent the neighbourhood and tell their stories, the good, the bad and the ugly. And lead artist Sanchez Camus worked with over 200 participants from a diverse range of nationalities and cultures. Some banners were created in group workshops, others are a combination of designs created in public workshop sessions.
Hopefully that won't go from bard to verse.
And you could say that.
Designs in the Sky follows an interesting current trend in contemporary art, the increased use of collaboration, participation and community co-design, as the project invited local people to be producers and makers alongside artists and therefore share in the authorship of works.
Now, Designs in the Sky is part of the Birmingham-wide project Connecting Communities Through Culture. It's funded by Birmingham City Council, Arts Council England and the Department for Communities and Local Government. And if you'd like to find out more, then you can have a look at their Facebook page, which is facebook.com/Perry Bar Arts Forum, all one word.
Sounds good. Now, as part of a major fundraising campaign to save a 104-year-old Walsall Tennis Club.
We featured this on the news on here before now, yes.
It's exciting. International tennis stars Danny Sapsford and Luke Milligan will be delivering group coaching to the public and playing an exhibition match at the club on Saturday the 14th of May from 12 till 5 p.m.
That sounds good. Now, the event includes a range of activities for all ages, so whether you have a 5-year-old with aspirations of being a Wimbledon champion, want to improve your game by being coached by international tennis stars, fancy a go on the tennis serve speed gun zone, or watch an exhibition match by top players, or if you simply want to pop along and enjoy the day of the barbecue, now is your chance.
Or all the other possibilities that could fill that day.
Yeah.
The fun-filled day will run from midday to 5 p.m. and include a series of events. Mini tennis for 5 to 10-year-olds, a session for teenagers, adults, team players, serve speed competition measured by the speed gun with lots of great prizes, and an exhibition match with British Davis Cup players Danny Sapsford and Luke Milligan. You will even have the opportunity to play a match against them if you're the lucky winner in the Tennis Star raffle. Good luck. Imagine the souvenir photograph.
Oh, yeah, if you're a tennis fan, that's brilliant. Do you play tennis still?
No, badminton I do.
Me too. Well, not for a long time, but yeah, I like badminton. Yeah, I'm terrible at tennis. Now, there's also going to be lots of great raffle prizes, refreshments, and, as we said, the barbecue. There is only a limited number of places available, so if you want to find out more, simple website name, walsalltennis.co.uk.
There we go. And again, it all takes place on Saturday the 14th of May, so keep your diaries open.
Now, All Saints players at All Saints Church in West Bromwich are staging their next play very soon. This time round, it's the murder mystery comedy Out of Sight by Fred Carmichael. The story goes like this.
Peter Knight is grinding out a murder story where another author was murdered years before. A weird electrical storm creates significant changes and his characters come to life. There is a young ingenue, the trusty butler, a feisty woman, a dauntless hero, a fascinating other woman, the always pregnant serving girl, and the willy lawyer waiting for midnight to read the will.
Peter loses control of his characters and there is a murder.
What?
A murder.
Sorry.
It's Taggart. The intended victim is Peter. Other murders follow. But can Peter find the killer before the killer gets his author? Is romance with the ingenue leading anywhere? And where is the fortune mentioned in the will? All is solved ingeniously with romance, suspense and cosmic wit.
I'm going to correct myself, so I should have said ingenue.
That's right, yes.
Ingenue.
You said engine.
Now, the All Saints Players were formed in 1978. There are currently 25 members and they undertake 2 plays every year. And these are staged in the cosy social area of the All Saints Church on All Saints Way in West Bromwich. Their last play, Season's Greetings, was a sellout. So if you're interested, and you should be after our blurb we just read through there, ingenue, you'd better get in quick.
And if you want to get in touch with them, then Ken Ford is the person to talk to of the All Saints Players. Call him on 0121 358 1141 or email kenford2008, all one word, at tiscali.co.uk.
So that's what's coming up on our community notice board for this week. Would you like to tell people across the area what's going on?
You.
We need you.
Yes.
Then get in touch with us.
Whose voice was that?
Don't know. My alter ego.
Love it.
Make sure you let us know in plenty of time.
You can email us via the postbag. Do you want to do the email address in that voice?
Yes, postbag. No, it doesn't work. You can only say you or us. Postbag at bigcentre.tv or send a message on social media at bigcentre.tv.
Or pop a letter in the post to, go on, click your fingers. Yes, Community Notice Board, Big Centre, 14A, Lower Hall Lane, Walsall, WS1 1RL Grell. Right, now it's time for a history lesson, and joining me again at this time every week for a look at what happened during next week but in years gone by from Doorstep History, it's Mr. Tom Wilkinson. Hello again.
Hello again.
Welcome back.
It's good to be back.
Yeah, now we were talking yesterday, we had an interesting week last week. Do we have as interesting a week to come?
Every week's interesting, Lee, in history.
Well, this is
There's
for you
a lot
to
of
tell
history.
me. Well, yeah.
You never run short on history.
That's true.
Yeah, so we'll start on May the 2nd.
Okay.
Shall we?
Yes.
1536, Anne Boleyn, Queen of England, wife of Henry VIII.
Henry VIII.
Yep, she was arrested on charges of incest and witchcraft.
Oh, blimey. Now, were these trumped up charges, or was it for real?
Well, witchcraft.
No, but I mean, people believe in such things then.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You know,
But
did the king have a word with the police?
Oh, of course. It was basically so he could marry again because she hadn't provided him with the male heir that he wanted.
All right.
So...
Oh dear, OK. Off with her head.
If he couldn't divorce her, he chopped the heads off.
That's not good, is it?
It wasn't a very nice bloke.
I'm so glad we live in enlightened times, aren't you?
Yeah, well, now and again.
Stop it, come on.
Right. 1611, the King James Bible was first put into publication.
Ah, now this is the basis of all modern day
All
Bibles.
modern Bibles, yeah.
Yeah. Right, OK.
King
So
James
what
Bible.
were they using before that? Or was it just sort of different versions of the same thing?
It was just basically different versions of the same thing, but the King James Bible was the standard for it all.
So this kind of rationalised all the stories into the form that we know them these days?
Yeah.
Right, OK.
Yeah.
How interesting.
1945, the fall of Berlin.
Oh.
Soviet troops took Berlin back in... and you've probably seen the famous photograph of the German troops on top of the Reichstag with the Soviet flag hanging over...
Of course, yes.
Yeah.
Wow. Oh, right, OK. 1945?
1945. Just a few days after Hitler had killed himself. And 2011, Osama bin Laden was killed in Pakistan by American forces.
That's right. There's those famous pictures of Barack Obama and Condoleezza Rice and everybody sitting around watching, presumably, a live video feed or something, or at least receiving the news.
They were watching the live video feed, but the footage hasn't been released.
No.
General viewership.
No, of course not. No.
Within good reason, I suppose.
Yes, I imagine so.
May the 3rd in 1921. North and South, Northern and Southern Ireland divided.
Oh, right, okay.
And Southern Ireland became the Republic of Ireland.
Yeah. There's been a bit of a bone of contention ever since, hasn't it?
Yeah, it has been. But things seem to have calmed down over recent years. So hopefully things, peace will stay there for a while.
It's always struck me as a real shame, you take away all the political reasons and everything. Ireland's just a beautiful country. Yeah. North and south, whatever, you think about it. It's just a lovely place to be.
Yeah, it's just a shame that it all happened. But
the way of the world, I suppose.
May the 4th, 1814, the Emperor Napoleon Bonaparte was...
There we go, that's my impression of him. You can't see that, can you? There we go. Anyway, sorry, let's go.
Yeah. He begins his exile on the island of Elba.
What,
obviously. Elba.
Oh, I thought you said... Taking the mickey now, sorry.
It's the accent, isn't it?
Yeah, we're both from Tipton.
Yeah. But yeah, he began his exile.
All right, okay.
1932, Al Capone was finally imprisoned in Atlanta for, dodgy taxes. Basically is what they got him on.
And of course, the other thing about May the 4th, Star Wars Day.
Yeah, May the 4th be with you.
And hope you're celebrating. Who invented that?
George Lucas, obviously. 1979, everybody's favourite Prime Minister, old Maggie.
Old Maggie.
Maggie Thatcher became Prime Minister.
Oh, you see, I was one of those children who she snatched the milk away from. Not personally, of course, but...
Closed down the mines, took away everybody's job.
Yes, an amazing career, but not always... You don't agree with everything that she did.
No, but Falklands War, you can't falter on that one.
Well, yeah, there you go.
In 2000, Ken Livingstone became the first mayor of London.
Back in the news, of course, at the moment.
Back in the news, but not for good reasons.
Well, yeah, and that was in 2000?
Yeah.
Oh, right, OK.
Now, May the 5th, this is a good one. 1215, the barons rebel and make King John sign the Magna Carta.
Ah, right, OK.
Which was essentially our own sort of constitution like they have in America.
Yeah.
But yeah. And it's a lot of contention with that and the current situation with the EU. As it says in the Magna Carta that if we fall under the... if we voluntarily surrender our sovereignty to a foreign nation, people are allowed to openly rebel.
Really? I must read that.
Strange one.
Well, thank you for that.
No.
Come back and join us at the same time next week.
I will do.
Thank you. Time now to see what you've been saying to us. It's time for the good old postbag. Now, you'll remember we mentioned Sikh Aid International on Charity Focus recently. Well, we had a lovely surprise a few days ago when Inda Bogal from Sikh Aid International popped in to leave some flowers and a gift for Taffy, who actually produced that piece. And I literally just left for the day when they popped in, but I know that they met with Des and Gary and the guys in the office, and Sam looked after the flowers until Taffy came in to collect them. Now, a little later, he wrote on our Facebook page, and he thinks that Taffy and Big Centre have made a remarkable difference in bringing communities together. He also believes that it's TV shows and documentaries that bring positive change to our little world, one show at a time. And he says, kudos, BCTV and the team. Oh, thank you again, Inda. Now, I know everyone was really pleased to meet you, and of course it's so good that we can, in some small way, support the work that you do. Now, Taffy's report can actually be found in the Big Magazine section of our YouTube channel, and if you want to find out more about them, you can visit sikaid.org or just look them up on Facebook. Now, we've been asked to let you know about a competition that's taking place at the moment. The independent art gallery charity Compton Verney needs your votes to bring its galleries magically to life with light. Now, as part of the annual nationwide Museums at Night initiative, Compton Verney is aiming to host a magical light-filled evening at the Warwickshire Gallery in October, but they need your support to secure the creative genius of the artist Eowyn Jin. Now, one aspect of the Museum at Night concept is Connect. Now, this is an opportunity for galleries and venues across the UK to compete with one another for the services of a leading contemporary artist. So, if that's the sort of thing that catches your interest, then you can cast a vote at museumsatnight.org.uk/connect. And for more information about Museums at Night and other events at Compton Verney, just visit them online at www.comptonverney.org.uk. They're also on Facebook and Twitter. Now, next, Gaynor Roberts recently joined us on Big News to tell us about the Birmingham City Walk. Now, she left us a Facebook review which says, "Great time today at Big Centre. Looked after fantastically by Monica and Russ. Made to feel so welcome," smiley face. "Lovely to be able to spread the news about all the good work that's happening in parks across Birmingham. #active parks." Also, Mansa Musa gave us a 5-star review. Said, "I was a guest last Monday, on the evening show presented by the amazing Lois Swinnerton and the fabulous backstage staff, which in turn made me feel most welcome. What a delightful pleasure it was sharing my Duncan Edwards, the boy who had it all Kickstarter campaign with the audience of Big Centre. Thank you so much for the opportunity and courtesy given to me. Keep up the great work. Inspiring and elevating local talent, my new favourite channel from the Midlands." Nice one, I like that. And thanks to Mansa and Gaynor. And once again, if you like what you're seeing these days on Big Centre, why don't you leave us a Facebook review? Now, we've changed a lot recently, and it's all because you've been telling us what you like and, of course, what you're not so keen on as well. So there you go. That's what we found in our postbag for this week. And if you'd like to get in touch with us then on social media, as always, we are at Big Centre TV. And of course, you can email us via the postbag. It is postbag@bigcentre.tv. Or just write to us, and the address for anything at all is always Big Centre, 14A Lower Hall Lane, Walsall, WS1 1RL. And that's your Big Magazine for Sunday. Remember, you can catch the Big Magazine on Saturdays at 10 a.m. and 6 p.m, and we're back with more on Sundays, also at 10 a.m. and 6 p.m. Now, during the week, we're with you at 8 until 9 in the morning, and again from 10 till 11. Big News continues at 1 o'clock, 6 o'clock, and again at 9, with updates throughout the day. So, do hope you can join us then. So, from the whole team here, have a lovely Bank Holiday Monday. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you later. Try a bit.